stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello. I didn't check my podcast count today. You can do this with me. We're at 5931. We're at 5932. So we had one download yesterday. Download day. Yeah. 54 in the last 7 days, over 100 in the last 30. So decent numbers. Not huge. I don't compare my stuff to other people. It's just silly. Oh, good stretch. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad you say hi because it tells me how many people are here, but it's never right. So, it's never right. It's a great feature. That doesn't work. So this one could also be called, if you don't learn from the past, you are doomed to repeat it. You're doomed to repeat it. I say quite often that the 12 by 12 has so much stuff in it. Okay. And the 12 traditions are one big 10th step. They go through and they say, and they tell you how they fucked up. That's what the traditions are about. It's them saying, we tried all this, it didn't work. So don't go that route. But people don't. Well, there are things that are falling out. The 12 by 12 goes with the big book. And I hear a lot of people saying things like, the 12 by 12 confuses me, which I kind of get because it is written a little differently than the big book. It is actually in Bill's words. And Bill was a talker, man. Okay. He was very smart. So you might have to look up some of these words, but it is still proper English. It's still proper English. Let's see. Support funding applications. Fuck you. Sorry. Here's another one. AA comes of age. This has a lot of really good stuff as far as how the traditions, the concepts, how we came about them, and the stories. Because when they put it in a story form, you kind of get it a little differently, I think. And do introductions. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am your host with the most. Here's another good one. Language of the Heart. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. This also has a lot of history in it. Okay. Yes, it talks about in here that Bill had very, very troublesome depressions. Okay. And he tried other things for it. He tried acid. He tried shrooms. He tried all these things. And now they're coming back again saying, hey, we could use this for depression. Now they're saying they use it for PTSD. But Bill tried it and it didn't work. So why can't I go with that? He was right about everything else. Right? We're just gonna come along and pick and choose what we want. You think I want to fight for this detox? I'm the only person trying to do this the right way, and it irritates the fuck out of me. It does nothing but irritate me. All right? Because even these people are a little bit younger and they're not learning from the past. What do I call this? I call it laziness. It's laziness. If your sponsor did not use this book, you need another sponsor. If you were with your sponsor and they say that they're done and you haven't covered the traditions and the concepts, you need a new sponsor. I need to get my fucking work done. Gosh darn it. Sorry. My feelings were hurt, so yeah. But I just feel like we're making a lot of mistakes. You know, when I see people being booted out of a room because the co-hosts don't like what they're saying, I kind of have a problem with that. Okay. What's even worse is the people in the room knowing it's wrong and continuing to support it and not saying anything. Shame on you. You're just as liable. If you were there, you saw it, you were a part of it, you're part of it. That's just the way it is. And if you say nothing, okay, happened in a meeting for me the other day, I said nothing, which means I'm just as liable. Didn't happen to me, but I saw it. Okay. Just because somebody doesn't agree with the AA program, I don't know how many times I've heard somebody take their 3 minutes and cut down God. They have that right. Just because you don't agree with what they say doesn't mean that they are not an AA member. Okay. What's the other thing that I'm seeing that it's starting to scare me now that I look more at it is this how soon do you want to get well, speedy recovery? Okay. If your sponsor had you read up to page 62 and then started with you at that point, you need a new sponsor. Do you know how much you just missed? No wonder people are not fucking understanding things. Okay. No, it's no wonder. I mean, look at all the stuff that's just written in the contents. How are they going to understand the doctor's opinion if you're not teaching it to them? It's your job. See how my book's all marked up? Yeah. Okay. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. That's how we go through the book too. Okay. You don't get well in your time. You get well in God's time. So if you do it that way, do you know what you're missing? You know what you'll miss? Delayed gratification. You'll miss let go and let God. And delayed gratification is the number one skill I use. Because my body always wants something. It wants to feel better. It wants this. It wants that. So I need delayed gratification in order to make it through the day, man. No, I cannot. Okay. Okay. That doesn't mean alcohol. It's just life. There's some problems that could be dealt with today. There are some that won't be able to. There's some. Well, Adams County is not going to be. I just wrote the executive director and everybody else. I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you because it's Michelle here and I think she wants to hear it. It's not long. I said, I know that you have a ton of other things going on rather than detox, but for me is the number one thing, and this process was horrible. It sucks that you had your hands held the whole time, but this is not going to improve anything unless Aurora Mental Health has changed since I worked for them. From here, I do not have much of a choice but to be in the thorn of the side of Adams County. Yesterday, my years of experience fell on deaf ears, and I was more embarrassed than anything else. So who do I go from here to make sure that I'm on the team to make sure do we do this correctly? I will email you every day if I need to, but the time is clearly past to do it the right way. Do people not understand that it is us that will be using this detox? What happened to what the community was wanted? Why was it hidden? We are supposed to be transparent. Very unhappy, Dion Miller. How are you going to respond to that? I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get a very clinical answer because they're clinical. Okay, they can't do what I do. Period. Because I take no money. Because I take no shit. Okay, I don't. I see the path and I see it clearly. I've been there before. I know what it's like. Okay, I'm not trying to create the good old days, but I am trying to create some new good days for all of us, man. For all of us. Okay? And I get frustrated when I get put down, not heard, when I know that I know what I'm talking about. There's certain things that, yes, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Reintegration back into society. I've had to do it myself twice. Do you know how many other people I have reintegrated back into society? I don't. So if you know, please let me know. But it's a lot. I have a lot of people that listen to me. They don't say much. They don't need to. By the way, I love you too. Okay? Because this goes where God decides it goes. Okay? If you read up to page 62, that third step is not going to connect like it's supposed to. Okay? I'll give you an example. Here. What is the first word? What is the first word in the book of Alcoholics Anonymous? We do this together, right? This is the forward to the 4th edition. In any meeting, anywhere, AA's experience, strength, and hope with each other in order to stay sober and help other alcoholics. And I have no dumping or whining in meetings where you taught that. I can tell a lot of people were not taught that because I hear a lot of dumping in meetings. Okay. If it's a newcomer, yeah, I understand that too, Michelle, that people also have not been where I've been, and I need to understand that they haven't. And that's okay, but they need to stop long enough to listen then. Especially if they're going to make decisions for us that will affect AA as a whole. Right? So, but I hear what you're saying. So what do I need to do? Well, I need to bring the level up so it hurts them. See, I know something. I know that every single one of those people on the board, every single person at Adams County is affected by drugs and alcohol. I know that. With the fentanyl going on now, see, before fentanyl and the opiates and all that, 1 in every 10 families was affected by drugs and alcohol. Now everyone is. No one is off the hook anymore. What does that make us? It makes us extremely important. Why am I pushing what I'm pushing? Why? Because Alateen is the best prevention program in the world. I know. Because it changed my mind, and I was an obstinate little fuck. But I listened to my peers. These were people that were my age. So I was listening. And they were saying things like, the drugs is when it gets really fucked up. So I stayed away from them. Alateen saved my life. So it's important. It's just as important as AA, if not more important than AA and Al-Anon. It is the best prevention group in the world. Okay? We are failing horribly here in Colorado when it comes to this. I was talking with somebody the other day, Colorado Consortium. They do prescription drugs. I was talking to them about their resources. And I said, she was talking about it, and they're not going to take them down, but they're going to put a disclaimer up. So they're listening. Thank you, people. They were listening. I made it hurt. I made it hurt because what I said was, yeah. Well, what I told them was, what happens if you send somebody to one of these places, they die? I feel like you're responsible. She's like, yeah, it does kind of feel that way. Ooh, gotcha. Okay, and then we went along and I said, why is Kraft on there? Well, what I said was, why is AA not on there? I don't remember the reason, but it's because it wasn't clinical, a clinical treatment kind of thing, which made sense. It does in that industry. It made sense. So she made sense. So I said, then why do you have Kraft on there? And I'm not putting down Kraft. Kraft is actually a very good program. It's a great program. Okay. Then why do you have Kraft on there? Okay. Reason is because they don't talk about God. It's always the X factor. It's always the X factor. Right? So let's start doing AA the right way. Let's take our time, go through the book. This is not a fucking rat race. Okay. I'm still at a point where, because even last night there was kind of a mistake. There was somebody who showed up to our meeting. He was drunk. Not drunk, but he had still been drinking. I didn't know. He didn't sound drunk, but he admitted that he'd been drinking. I said, that's great. You're welcome here, but we ask that you do not share. Well, I went to the bathroom and he shared. No biggie, but all he did was talk about drugs. That's all he talked about. Okay. The AA meetings were there for when, and we let him talk a little bit, I don't want to be rude to the guy. I want him to come back, but he was in the wrong place. He needs an NA meeting, man. He does. They will be able to help. NA will be able to help him more than me. You bet. Now, he left before the meeting ended, but I was going to help him find some meetings. Just because you're not a fit with me, and I do this all the time, even when I was a recovery coach, I did this. Sometimes I get this guy, and they were just too meek. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. And I'm kind of a rough guy. Well, they need time to well, you know what? That's on me, not them, because I'm supposed to meet them where they're at. Well, I couldn't. So I got a recovery coach that could. Problem is, other people didn't do that. Okay? No person is the Alpha Omega. No group is the Alpha Omega. The higher power, God, is the only Alpha Omega. The only one that I'm aware of. Right? But if we do not learn from the past and the mistakes that they made in AA, we are doomed to repeat them. What do you think sober living is? Recovery coaching. These are all doomed to repeat. Okay? We don't need sober living. We need halfway houses. But I don't make money off a halfway house. I don't care. But I make a lot of money off sober living. I know. Assholes. All right. Sorry. So why am I saying it's disrespectful? Anytime you do not learn from people that are older from you, it is disrespectful. You're not disrespecting them. You're disrespecting people as a whole. You're disrespecting God. Tell me how that turns out. I don't know if God has boundaries or not. I'm still here, so I guess not. Okay. But if we don't learn from these things, we will repeat them, period. So he'll come along with, oh, we need to make an AA center. All this, yeah, you know what the number one bickering thing is? Money. It's always money. Yesterday, people got mad at me because somebody donated $200 to our group. And they're like, you should have asked us first. And nowhere in here does it say that we have a group conscience for donations. Nope, not in there. Go read your shit before you tell me I'm wrong. Right? Do not come with me with contempt prior to investigation. I have lost my patience with people who have decided that they're going to be lazy and run around and spout stupid shit. Like you have to get sober for yourself. A lot of it goes on. What is this? It's a soul sickness to the core. To the core. All right. I'm going to 3 o'clock meeting because I always need to hit a meeting, but I'm going to pray before I go. I just don't want to deal with any bullshit. I wish today was Friday, but it's not. All right. I love you. Thank you for being here. I love you. Peace out and have a